Welcome back to Eyewitness News here on the Kansas CW. Our legal counsel is in today, Charlie O'Hara. Give us a call, 436-1212, if you do have a legal question. Thanks for being here today, Charlie. Appreciate it.
Sure.
And we already do have a caller for you on the line, so go ahead,
right.
Caller. Good morning. What's your question?
Hi.
Hi there.
I had a house that was broken into about a year ago, and they caught the guy, and he was in the jail for a couple months. He did over $6,000 worth of damage and burglary parts, and I was told he would pay restitution. In the past year, I have received about $200 restitution, so I was wondering, is there any way to make him pay any faster? He's out on the streets running around doing nothing.
Okay. Well, I don't know that restitution is paying back for damages in a criminal case that have occurred to the victim. So restitution, if you're convicted or if you get probation or something like that, the judge would order you as a condition of getting out of jail for your probation to pay restitution. But we can't put people in jail that don't have money. So if the judge orders the person to stay out of trouble, not commit crimes, and do things like that, usually a person committing a burglary is probably not a very wealthy person. It's going to be very difficult for that person to pay anybody back. So paying $200 back may be all that that person has. He may not be employable, he or she may not be employable, or if they have a job, it's probably a low-level job. The only thing you could do to hurry that up would be to hire your own attorney and then sue that person. And then if they get a job, you could garnish their wages and take their wages as a judgment against them all the time. Probably the better way to do it. Most people rely on the prosecution to get their money. The state of Kansas, usually it's very difficult for them to do that because you can't put somebody in jail for not having money. But a civil lawyer could sue them and take away any wages they get, any bank accounts they get, anything like that.
Well, and like she said, he's walking around doing nothing, so if he doesn't have a job, you can't take anything from nothing. Well,
yeah, if he's really walking around doing nothing, I think part of the condition for probation is usually you're supposed to be employed or looking for a job. So if he's doing nothing, he may be in violation of his probation.
Okay, so that's the quickest way then. All right, Charlie,
yes.
Thank you. We do have another caller on the line. Go ahead, caller. What's your question for us this morning?
Well, I'm in the middle of a kind of messy divorce, and my question is, if I purchase a new property, will the other party be able to pull that property into the divorce proceedings?
Well, I can't answer that for sure because I don't know the details of that. I would not purchase a piece of property at all until I talked to my attorney and went over that. And if you don't have an attorney in your divorce case and you're purchasing property, you probably ought to get one because you don't want to be doing something to change the dynamic until you get some legal advice about that.
Okay, very good idea. Speaking of divorces, we were talking about Facebook today and how a lot of times Facebook now is something that's being used in divorce cases. So you got to be careful what you say on Facebook. I never really thought about how legally what you say online on social media could affect you later down the road. Well,
it does completely. It does in criminal cases. It does almost in any case. I mean, even Sarah Palin, they were looking at her emails. Anything you put on the internet, you should expect other people to be able to see. So it's something like you would say out in a crowd. So you need to be very careful what you put on there because it can come back, even though you think it's rather harmless, it could come back to affect you. Even your job, you get mad at your employer or something and put it on Facebook, it could come back.
Okay, thank you, Charlie.
Sure.
All right, we do have one more call on the line. Go ahead, caller. What's your question? Go ahead, caller. What's your question?
Yes, I'm calling. I was in prison 40 years ago, and I got out 36 years ago. And I've got a son that's in a different prison here in Kansas, and they're they're denying me to be able to come and see him. And I'm wondering if there's anything I can do about that.
Well, I mean, 36 years ago, that's a long time. I'm sure you've corrected your life since then and straightened your life up, and it seems like you should be able to get a hold of the warden or something of that prison and explain the situation. You should be able to get in there. Sometimes they prevent people from going into prison with past records because they try to keep ex-felons from associating with each other.
Okay.
But obviously 36 years is
that's a long time.
Quite a while.
Okay, thanks, Charlie. We appreciate you being here today again.
Sure.